Silent weapon of the Hells Angels Eves, Apache, Trudeau, Montreal. A city of two faces. By day, a jewel of culture and commerce. By night, a battleground. November 26th, 1984. The cold is setting in, a bitter wind sweeping through the streets. But the real chill is coming from the city's underworld, where a war is brewing. A man walks into a small apartment in the city's east end. He's carrying a VCR, a common sight in any home. But this delivery is anything but common. He doesn't knock. The door is unlocked, waiting for him. He doesn't speak. His purpose requires no words. He doesn't stay. His part in the evening's events is over. He sets the VCR on the table, turns, and walks back into the cold, a ghost melting back into the city. That night, 4 men gather inside that apartment. They are members of the Death Riders, a puppet club for the Outlaws MC. Rivals of the Hells Angels. They've been told the VCR contains a message. They press play. They hear the first click. The familiar sound of a machine come to life. They never hear the second. 16 kilograms of military-grade C4, packed inside the VCR, detonate with unimaginable force, leveling the room instantly. Walls collapse. Windows vaporize. The blast is so absolute nothing remains but ash and fragments of teeth. When police arrive, they assume it's just another act gang retaliation. In a city rife with turf wars, that part makes sense. What doesn't? The method. Gangland hits were messy, personal, done with guns and knives in back alleys. This wasn't sloppy. This wasn't emotional. This was engineered. Work of cold, calculating genius. No fingerprints. No residue trail. No witnesses who saw anything unusual. No witnesses who saw anything unusual. The bomber was a ghost. And the man who built it. At the time. Even the detectives didn't know his real name. To the Hells Angels, he was their secret weapon. They called him Apache. He wasn't a boss. He wasn't a leader. He wasn't even a patch member of the club. He was something far more valuable and far more dangerous. He was a tool. And within 1 year, that same tool would walk into a police station and calmly confess to 53 murders, handing investigators the blueprint they needed to dismantle the outlaw biker underworld from the inside out. Before he was known as Apache, the Popeyes Motorcycle Club's most feared enforcer, he was just a man with a different name. His real name was Yves Trudeau. Born February 4th, 1946, in the blue-collar city of Laval, Quebec, Trudeau grew up in a world of grease and steel. He became a trained mechanic, known for his precision. He was quiet, methodical, some would say emotionally flat. In a world of loud noises and rough talk, Trudeau was void of silence. He didn't posture. He didn't boast you. He didn't boast you. He didn't threaten. There was no outward sign of the violence he was capable of. And that's precisely what made him so dangerous. By his early 20s, Trudeau had traded his wrench set for a cut. He wasn't fixing engines anymore. He was riding with the Popeyes Motorcycle Club, a gang that was carving out a brutal reputation as one of the most violent Quebec had ever seen. Their currency was fear, paid for with public shootings, savage beatings, and systematic torture. They didn't care about optics or public opinion. They cared about absolute dominance. In this brutal ecosystem, there was no room for weakness. Trudeau fit perfectly. At 5'7", stocky, and always clean-shaven, he didn't look like a killer. He looked like someone who could blend into any crowd unnoticed. But the other club members saw something in his eyes immediately. A chilling emptiness. He never hesitated. Give him an order, and it was done. No questions asked. No improvisation. No improvisation. No messy loose ends. And most importantly, no witnesses left to tell the tale. He was the perfect instrument of violence. 1973. Trudeau commits his first confirmed murder. A rival biker beaten to death with a steel pipe. No arrest, no charges, no noise, just results. That became the pattern. Over the next 12 years, 29 victims shot at close range. 10 killed by bombs, 3 bludgeoned, 1 strangled, each method chosen deliberately. Some bodies disappeared. Others were left as warnings. Inside the club, fear spread fast, not because Trudeau was loud, but because he was precise. He built bombs in his apartment, stored explosives in labeled toolboxes, rode alone, kept his face out of photos. He didn't party. He didn't talk. He executed. In 1977, the criminal landscape of Quebec shifted forever. The notorious Popeyes motorcycle gang was absorbed into the global powerhouse of the Hells Angels. For most members, it was a promotion, a new identity. For Yves Trudeau, it was just a change of management. He transitioned seamlessly into the Angels' notorious Laval chapter, a move that would cement his dark legacy. By then, his reputation was already sealed. He wasn't a true biker, not in the traditional sense. He wasn't in it for the brotherhood or the open road. He was a specialist, a solution. In a world where problems often took human form, Trudeau was the final answer. Law enforcement had been watching him for years. RCMP psychological profiles painted a chilling picture, describing him as cold, compliant, and most disturbingly, emotionally dislocated. A man detached from the very acts he committed. He didn't seek power or status within the club's hierarchy. He had no ambition to lead. He simply wanted instructions. His superiors only needed to give him a name and a method. Then he would vanish into the shadows, a ghost in the machine, only to resurface when the job was finished. No questions, no sheep. No questions. No questions. No complications. This unique, terrifying skill set made him invaluable. He was soon awarded one of the rarest, most feared patches in the outlaw world, the Filthy Few. This patch isn't requested. It isn't given for loyalty. It is earned exclusively with bodies. It's a mark that separates a member from a killer. 1979. Trudeau is paid $200,000 for a single hit. Target: Roland Doodle, a high-ranking Outlaws MC figure. Trudeau plants a device beneath the car. Military-grade timing, ignition triggered. When the engine turns over, the car explodes. Clean. Effective. But the Hells Angels weren't his only clients. RCMP investigations later revealed Trudeau also accepted contracts from Quebec mafia cells. He wasn't loyal. He was for hire. One Crown Court document traced $46,000 stolen from the Laval clubhouse, laundered through fake mechanic invoices tied directly to Trudeau's front shop. No one noticed until after he confessed. March 24th, 1985. A chalet in Lennoxville, Quebec. 5 Hells Angels from the Laval chapter are called in for a meeting. They expect business. Instead, they're beaten, shot, strangled, wrapped in sleeping bags, dumped into the icy St. Francis River. An internal cleanup. No outsiders. No police. No mercy. The order came from inside the club, but one man wasn't there. Yves Trudeau. He was in detox, state-funded rehab outside Sherbrooke. For once, isolation saved him. But then he overheard something that froze him. A contract. $50,000 on his head. The club he'd protected for a decade had decided he was a liability. Trudeau didn't panic. He didn't run. He walked into a police station, and he negotiated. Not remorse. Not guilt. Leverage. Names. Weapons. Locations. Bomb designs. Money flows. In exchange, full immunity. He confessed to 43 murders, linked himself to 90 unsolved homicides, named over 100 co-conspirators. The RCMP raided clubhouses across Quebec. New York affiliate chapters cut ties overnight. Trudeau didn't just flip. He mapped the entire system. The public narrative was simple. A killer broken by guilt. But court transcripts told a different story. He negotiated immunity before full cooperation. He showed no genuine remorse. He confessed because it bought protection. The myth helped him survive. Because as long as people believed he flipped out of guilt, no one asked why he was still breathing. In 1994, Trudeau walked free under a new name. Danny Cote. New papers. New province. New province. Witness protection. But monsters don't vanish. In 2004, Trudeau was arrested again. This time not for murder. He was charged with sexually assaulting 2 boys under the age of 12. No immunity, no deals. He served less than 4 years. By then he was dying. Bone marrow cancer. Fast. Aggressive. He died in 2008 at age 62. Buried under an assumed name. No obituary, no gravestone.
Eves. Apache Trudeau was never a leader. He didn't wear power. He erased it. For 12 years, he murdered on command. For 1 year, he dismantled an empire name by name. The Hell's Angels didn't lose him because he changed. They lost him because they failed to kill him first. Ghosts don't seek redemption. They disappear when their usefulness ends. And even ghosts leave evidence behind. If you made it this far, you care about the truth. Subscribe. Because the next story is one nobody else was willing to tell.